Hi, this is Jerry Martin with Software Analysis Corporation. What I'd like to talk to you about today is how you can use Timeslips and email your invoices directly from Timeslips to your clients. When you print bills to your printer, Timeslips can automatically send PDF copies of the bills to your clients. But before you can send those bills by email, you must set some options for each client and options for the bill run. Before starting, you need to make sure that you have a compatible email system. You have to have a system that is MAPI compliant. Systems like Outlook, Outlook Express, and Eudora are MAPI compliant. If you're not sure, check with your system administrator to determine whether or not your system is compliant. Also, you will of course need an internet connection. When you send bills via email, Timeslips is going to send an email message to your client and attach the bill as a PDF file. It uses your email templates to determine the subject line of the email message and the body text that is going to appear on the email. The bill is going to be attached to the message. So let's talk about how we're going to set up those templates. If you go to Setup on your menu bar and you go down to Email Templates, you're going to find Templates with the system. This email template is the template that will be used by default for your bills. This is the template that will go out when you do statements, and this is the template that would go out when you are emailing from a reprint bill. Let's start with the default one. Usually I recommend that you duplicate the default just so that you have an old copy of it. So I'm going to name this Backup Default. And I'm going to click OK. The default message is the one that I'm going to modify, so I'm going to highlight it and click Open. The subject line that Timeslips gives you says Your Bill. I'm worried that if you send out statements with a subject line of Your Bill, it's going to be interpreted as junk mail and not read. So usually what I do is I change the subject line to your company name. So in this case, I'm going to say Invoice from Software Analysis Corporation. But you would use your company name, of course, there. Then in the body of the email, you type in what you want it to say. For your convenience, your bill is attached to this message. Please review the bill and submit your payment. Thank you. I usually get rid of this. People by now know what a PDF file is and they have a PDF reader. I don't leave that in there anymore. Whatever kind of text you want to put in here is just fine. If you want to put your name on it, that's okay too. But remember that this is a default that will be used for everyone in your company. Whatever information you like to have there will be just fine. When you get it to say what you want it to say, you just click OK. You would do the same thing for what you want your statements to say and what you want for reprint bills. You would change this again, copy of your bill. I would say copy of your invoice from Software Analysis Corporation. I'm going to go ahead and click Done at this point. So what we've done so far is we've set up emails, and now we have to have Timeslips set up so that it will use these email templates. In order to email to a client, we're going to have to do some changes to our client information screen. So pick a client and go ahead and double click to open it. And on the General tab of the client, that's the very first tab, you need to make sure that you put in an email address for the client. Put it in under the email address field. If you have additional email addresses, you can add them in the blank space below. That's the first thing that needs to be done. The next thing that needs to be done is on your Arrangement To tab, you have to mark that you want to send your bills or by the email or your statements by email. So you want to mark one or both of those. And then the final thing that you need to do for each client is you need to go to the Layout tab. The Layout tab determines what bill layouts you're using, and also down here what email templates you're using. So make sure that it's set for whatever you named the email template. If you decide that you want to see something different or you want to look at it, you can click on Open and you can go back into it and make changes. Remember, whatever you change here affects everyone who's using that template. On the General tab of each client, you will need to put in their email address. Once you put in the email address, you're going to mark the Arrangement tab and also the Layout tab. If you have a lot of clients, it might be a good idea to export these settings to all the clients. Also, you want to make sure to set up your default new client templates with these same settings so that you don't have to do them every time when you create a new client. On the default new template form, I would suggest you put your email address in the email address section. That way, if someone forgets to add an email address, the email will come to you to make you aware that the email did not, in fact, get to your client. For our example, I'm going to put in my email address so that you can see what's going to happen. And I'm going to save this and close it up. Now I'm going to generate a bill. So when I generate the bills, I need to tell Timeslips that I want to email my bills if they're only if they're marked for email. So on this screen, which I got to by clicking on this options button right here, I want to make sure that I have, after printing, send bills via email, and I can decide whether or not I want to actually print the bills out that I am sent to my client via email or not. I'm going to uncheck, just for my purposes here, print matching envelopes or labels. If I'm emailing my bills, I certainly don't want to print all those labels. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the OK button here. For time constraint purposes, I'm going to just pick ABC Corporation so that I don't have to go through approving everything. I'm going to go ahead and send it to the printer, and I'm going to click to approve the bills. In order to email a bill, it must be approved if you want it to email, which is a good thing, because if you have not reviewed the bills yet, you don't want every bill that you generate to go directly to your client. So it waits until you're approving the bill. So I'm going to click Approve Bills, and I'm going to click OK. At the end of the approval, it comes up with the bills that are going to be emailed to my clients. So I have the list here of all the clients that we're going to have email, what the email address is going to be. If I had additional people I wanted to send copies to, I could click that as well. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and the email is then sent to ABC Company. I'm going to click OK. And that email will then appear in my inbox. I'm going to switch over to my email, and in my inbox, if I were the customer, this is what I would see. Invoice from Software Analysis Corporation. Remember, that was the subject line that I put in. And then this is the text that we had put into the text area of the email. And then this is an attached copy of the actual bill itself. That's all there is to it. If you have questions, please let me know. My name again is Jerry Martin, Software Analysis Corporation. My phone number is area code 630-825-6400. That's 6400. Also, my email address is glm@s-as-in-sam-a-c.com. Thank you.